Hello guys, today we are going to see Redux Toolkit. This is how we should use Redux in our projects. So Redux having few shortcomings like configuration of the Redux seems complicated. Lots of packages you need to install for real project if you want to use it in a real project. Redux require too much boilerplate code, right? Which means repetitive code you need to use for constant, making constant action. You need to create reducer also for every time, right? So solution of this problem, of these problems are Redux Toolkit, which is an abstraction over Redux. So let's see through example how we should use Redux and the Redux Toolkit. So in the example, I have already created the index.js. I have already used the npm init -y for creating the by default package.json. I have created the folder structure like inside the app there is a store.js and there is a features folder. Inside it there is a balance and the user. So balance folder is going to contain the balance slice. User is going to contain the user.slice. We see this user when we are going to see the async function later. In this example, we are going to focus on the balance slice. Right. So now after this, I have just installed the npm I Redux JS toolkit so that we can use the Redux toolkit. And then in the package.json, I have just changed the type to module so that we can easily use it. Right. And inside it, I need to use the create slice from the toolkit. So you can use directly by using the import create slice when you're going to use the React, but right now you need to use it in this way. In these two lines you need to write for getting the create slice, right? So now let's first start with the create slice. So here in the slice, what is going to happen in the toolkit, the reducer, constant file, and the action, all of the three files is together combined in a one file, and we are going to call it slice. So it's the balance slice which is going to contain the constant also, your actions also, your reducer also. So let's see how we can do this. So like there's a const, we are going to create a state, initial state, right? And we are just going to give the total rupee property here. I'm containing 0 inside my state. And now let's create the slice first. So I'm just creating the variable. I'll just name it balance slice. Right. So this is going to take the create slice, and create slice is nothing but a function which is going to contain the object. So first thing here is the name. You can give any name to your slice, so like balance. So this name, it's the Redux toolkit is going to use it to create a functions automatically. So here inside the Redux toolkit, extension will be created automatically. Initial state, then you need to give it here, and then there will be reducers you will need to give. So remember this s is required here. So okay, so comma is left, I have given. Now in the reducer you need to give the, say you want to increment something in your total rupee, so you need to write increment. So this is going to be a function which it's going to get the state, right? And then if you want to increment your state, you can directly do it inside the Redux toolkit. You need not to first take the copy of the state and then change it. No, it will do it automatically for you by using the immer library, right? So state dot, you want to increment the total rupee, so you can directly increment it, right? So now you need to decrement. say you want to decrement, and then it will be also a function. Say you want to use in this the payload also, so you can give the payload also here, action. So which action is going to provide you the payload, right? So maybe state dot total rupee, and it's going to subtract it by using the payload which you are going to provide it. Right, so you have created the slice, but now if you want to use it, you want to export it, right? So export and default, and then it will be balance slice dot reducer, right? So remember there will be a reducer, not reducers. Right? And now also you need to export your actions, right? Const, and then your increment function and your decrement property. Now balance slice dot, so these are action, right? So what is going actions here, it will be action. So what is going to happen here, how your action is going to create it, it's going to use the name, and it's going to use your function property in which the function contain inside the reducer. So this balance slash increment will be your action, right? So now this you have created. Now let's use it inside the store. So for the store also you need to use the configure store in this way inside the module. So now let's create the store. So export const, and then store is equals to, and then you can use the configure store. The configure store is provided by the Redux toolkit, right? This will be also a function, required object. Inside it, you need to provide your reducer, right? And now inside the reducer, you can use any name here. Say reducer name, you want to give the balance, you can use. And balance is required, balance slice is required for the state, right? So balance is going to import it at the line number 3, you can say. Right, now you have your store ready. Now you want to use the index.js, right? So let's go to the index.js, how to use all of this, right? So for this we need to use we always use the unsubscribe that we have already seen inside the plain Redux. So I'm just making it again, unsubscribe, right? And then just use the store here dot subscribe function which store provide. So store you need to first get it from the app, store dot subscribe function which store provide, right? So that it's a event, so whenever something is going to happen in your store, it'll automatically give you, right? Now then update, and whenever it's going to update, it's going to store dot get state. Okay, so now you want to use the dispatch function which store is going to provide, and then inside it you need to use increment, right? So and then you need to unsubscribe it. Now let's see whether our increment function is going to work or not. Index. So error was that in when you're going to use the plain JavaScript, then you need to provide the .js inside the index.js file after the store.js and after the balance slice.js also, and inside the store also you need to provide the .js here, otherwise it will give you error, right? Now you are going to go inside the index.js, then you can run the node index and you can see that total rupee of the state has been changed and it is updated. Now in the same way you can use your decrement function, store dot dispatch and then decrement, right? And inside the decrement you can provide any numbers. If you want to decrement it by the 10, you can decrement it by the 10 also, or what you can, yeah, just let's check it. Now you can see the store is updated according to the dispatch function which we have done. So this is a plain Redux toolkit which we have seen. In the next video, I'll show you how you can use the async function using the Redux toolkit. Thank you.